left my heart in San Francisco, high on a hill. It calls to me to be where little cable cars climb halfway to the stars. The morning fog may chill the air.
Hello everyone, I'm Thomas Kinkade. You know, ever since I was a little kid, I've been enamored with San Francisco. You might even say I left my heart in San Francisco when I was a little boy. Now that is not just a poetic slogan, that is truly a sentiment of my heart. I left my heart in San Francisco. How many of you have had the chance to wander around that beautiful city by the bay, go up those hills, and all of a sudden see the spreading view of the bay out below you? My very detailed painting, The Heart of San Francisco, really explores the essence of romance that I feel for this city, the great passion that I have for every sense that you use to experience the city by the bay. I mean, think about it. San Francisco is a delight for every sense. The sense of sight. Of course, every vista astounds you as you walk the hillsides. The sense of smell. There's nothing like the ocean breeze with that salty tang in the air. And of course, when you're on the wharf, the wonderful aroma of the crab pots, the big steamers they use to cook the crab for the walkaway crab cocktails that they serve. I think San Francisco truly is a city for lovers. I think that's why when Tony Bennett sings a song like I Left My Heart in San Francisco, it just is so evocative, because people who are romantic who visit San Francisco have some deep part of themselves brought to life. It is true that for everyone who visits the city, San Francisco becomes a part of them. And yet I began to wonder, what is the heart of San Francisco? And to me, this vista looking out over the bay with Coit Tower rising on its heights and the Oakland Hills in the distance, this to me really summarizes San Francisco. This is truly the heart of San Francisco that Tony Bennett sang about. I couldn't resist including so many whimsical touches in the painting. Of course, the famous cathedral that towers over the scene. There are many cathedrals and historic buildings in San Francisco. I enjoyed putting the Italian flag because San Francisco was truly an Italian colony in a lot of ways. There was, especially in North Beach, a lot of Italian immigrants who settled here and added to the charms of San Francisco. Of course, I included a tribute to the Chinese population, especially in this very historic view where I've turned the clock back a little bit. The Chinese laundry trucks would be seen puttering up and down the hills of San Francisco, and if you look carefully, you can see the initial T and the initial N, symbolizing, of course, my ongoing romance with my wife, Nanette. A chop suey parlor in the distance is of common sight in most neighborhoods. And we see people gathering around street musicians. You cannot come to San Francisco without being overwhelmed by the music that you hear in the air. The musicians are fun. They're jazz musicians. I don't think many jazz musicians play the accordion, but I had fun painting our accordion player into the scene. I enjoyed creating the sunset sky over the bay. The last light is hitting the bridge, bringing that real golden color to bear on the span of the bridge as its towers stand over the bay. We see the ever-present sailboats and an ocean-going steamer heading out of the bay. I like the way the painting seems to glimmer with color. The radiant sky seems to infuse the entire scene with a glow. Cooler tones dominate the foreground, and I enjoyed putting little touches such as the sailor who is walking across the street and families that are making their way to the street musician. I put Norman Rockwell making his way across the scene. There he is with his pipe, and he's walking, perhaps to listen to some jazz music. We see lovers strolling hand in hand underneath an umbrella. I even posed myself on the Harley Davidson puttering up the hillside. It was fun to pose myself in the painting. I included the street lights, which are a fabrication. The lights date back to another part of the city, but I couldn't resist including street lights. I also laid my own cable car line because the cable car that we see would not really roll right exactly where it is placed, so I had to move it. And I've done that many times in my paintings. It is part of the imaginative process. I try to add the details that I think will make the scene complete. Coit Tower is a proud symbol of San Francisco. It is one of the great landmarks you see on the skyline. I couldn't resist including it. It would really be a little farther west than we see it here, so I had to scoot it over just a bit to make sure it could be part of my scene. I pictured this scene as being in the era of the early 60s. Many of the cars, of course, date back to the 40s and 30s and 50s. But I wanted to recreate San Francisco at an era that was similar to what I experienced when I was a little boy going there for the first time. I was born in 1958. This would have been 63 or 64 when I first went to San Francisco, and that's the era that I've tried to capture. I know for me, the early experiences I had visiting San Francisco just left an indelible mark on my whole consciousness. I think I became an artist in part because of my love for San Francisco. Walking around the galleries on the wharf when I was a young boy of 5 or 6, holding my father's hand as he guided me in and out of galleries looking at paintings. I fell in love with the beauty that was captured on the canvases I saw, the sense of sunset and the drama of the crashing surf and the fog as it floats above the bay. Every painting I do is really a message unto itself. I think of my paintings almost as messengers that go into a home and carry a message with them. This painting of San Francisco is for the romantic in all of us, and whether you've been to that wonderful city or not, maybe this painting for you will capture the heart of San Francisco. Well, call me a romantic, but you know what? It doesn't get much better than that. San Francisco is a place that is timeless. I hope you saw some of that timelessness in my brand new painting, The Heart of San Francisco. I hope each of you will enjoy that painting as you share the light. God bless.
When I come home to you, San Francisco, your golden sun